So what is going on, everyone? This is Fabi here, and because someone requested that I do a video of iOS 9.3, basically this will be a review of iOS 9.3, but also a video in which I will show you what is new in this iOS version. We are also going to talk about the keynote Apple held last night, where they released iOS 9.3 and a couple of other things. So if you are interested in that, just make sure to wait till the end of this video and listen to all I have to say about that as well. So, talking about the biggest feature, this is night shift. So the way you activate it is either by going into settings or by going into control center and pressing this middle button here down at the bottom of the screen, and we can go into settings. Whoops, it just crashed, and go into display and brightness, and here you can see we have night shift, and you can schedule night shift just like you can do not disturb, or you can turn it on manually, and you can even control how much warm or how much less warm the screen is. So basically what this does is it allows you to use your phone at night, and it's easier on your eyes basically, and you can set it how warm you want it to be, as I said, and it's a pretty cool feature. But one thing I hate about it is the fact that it doesn't work with low battery mode. So I use low battery mode all the time because it gets me through the day, and it's awesome. It doesn't take from the performance of the device, in my opinion. And as you can see, I just turned on low battery mode, and now if I want to turn on night mode, I just can't, or night shift as it's called. So that's a huge bummer for me. The next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that you can now lock notes and they won't be able to be seen without typing in your password or without using Touch ID. But there's just one big problem. So you can see this note is locked. You can even see the lock over there, but you can see what it says over here. So if it's locked, it shouldn't be like that. You should, or they should hide it from over here as well. But how you unhide it or how you make it visible is basically by pressing here. So view note, and you press the Touch ID button, or if you don't have a device with Touch ID, you can enter in a password. It works the same way. Now, over the last year, Apple has given health a lot of attention, so health is naturally updated in iOS 9.3, and what you can see is a different dashboard design and also the addition of activity, which pairs your or gets the information from your Apple Watch if you have one, and it allows you to see how many minutes you've been standing up, how much you've exercised, and how much you've moved. But something that is more interesting to me is, for example, if you press on steps, you can now get apps which allow you to track your steps other than the health app that is included with your iPhone, which is a pretty neat thing if you ask me. The next feature that Apple has in store for us when it comes to iOS 9.3 is improvements to Apple News app. Now, this app still isn't available in a lot of places worldwide. It's not available over here, but if you set your country settings to United States, it will work, which is a huge problem. It should work everywhere, no problem, but Apple hasn't figured it out. What they do have now in this version is better top stories, and if you happen to see a video, you'll be able to play that video in Apple News now as well. And you can see it works pretty well. I used Apple News when it first came out and I wasn't that impressed, but it seems to be better now, and it seems to work pretty well. And the last two things, which I can't really demo on my iPhone 6 Plus, is the fact that you do have an addition of tabs when it comes to 3D touch tabs. So for example, you can see here the weather. You can 3D touch on the weather app and you can see the weather conditions in different towns. It also works with settings, so if you press on settings or hard press on settings, you can see battery, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth information. Same with the health app. And also, for those of you who have a car that is CarPlay enabled, you have a different music app now with the addition of For You tab, and you also have the addition of the Nearby tab in the Maps app. So these two things are for the CarPlay. Also, you do have full screen video in Podcasts and Music app, which is a pretty good thing. Apart from that, you do get a number of different Siri languages, so if you live in a country where Siri wasn't previously available, it might be available now. It still isn't in Romania though, which is again a bummer. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the fact that I feel like it's way more smooth on my iPhone 6 Plus. I use this phone on a daily basis, obviously, and Control Center used to always lag a little bit when you swiped from the bottom of the phone, but now it just doesn't at all. It's buttery smooth. Now, giving you guys a brief recap of the event last night, they basically talked about three major things. The first one being the 4-inch iPhone SE. So basically what you need to know about this is that it's the same as the iPhone 5S almost when it comes to design. It has the rosé gold color option. It's got the same 12 megapixel sensor as the newer iPhone 6s. It's got also NFC and all of the feature of the iPhone 6s basically, but in the same more compact size of the iPhone 5s, because a lot of people apparently like that option and that size. And it also will cost $399 at 16 gigabytes, so it's quite a bummer that it doesn't come with 32 gigabytes as standard, but that's what it is. Now the next thing, they talked about a 9.7 inch iPad Pro that's going to be released in about a week, I think. It's the same as the 12 inch iPad Pro. It's got the same stylus, and it's also got a smaller keyboard that is adapted for its size. And it's basically just like that, just like the bigger iPad with the same processor. It's also got the same features. It's also got the same 4 speakers. So it's going to be a great iPad, and it's going to cost $599 for 32 gigabytes, and the previous iPad Air 2 is going to cost only $399 now for the 16 gigabyte model. So that's a pretty good thing right there. Also, something that regards the iPad is that now they've added a 256 gigabyte model. Now, when it comes to me, I can't see what I would do with 256 gigabytes on a tablet. But apparently there's a lot of people that just want to store their apps, their games, their photos, their music, and more power to them. It's going to cost a lot, but you're going to have 256 gigabytes of storage on your tablet, whether it's the iPad Pro, the 9.7 inch model, or the 12 inch model. And the last thing, which will be a good thing for some people, is that the Apple Watch is now starting from $299, and they also released a bunch of spring set bands. So they're just more colorful bands that are meant for the spring, and as I said, the price is lower down. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my other type of videos that I post on my channel, where I talk about cars and where I drive cars, and also make sure to check out my technology stuff and tell me which you want to see more of. So thank you guys, peace out guys, and make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Peace.